Chappy here with EasyLoungin, and I'm going to show you the actual gear that I ride in, and clothing, outerwear, or at least the gear I was riding in the end of last season. This was almost about Memorial Day, May of '09. So all of this stuff was sitting kind of in my garage, one big pile, all zipped up in the bag, whatever. So I'm literally just going to put on what I was wearing the last day that I went riding this past spring. These are some Issa socks. I guess they're done. Rest in peace, Issa. But it doesn't really matter what sock, but as long as it's super, super thin. You know, a Burton super thin sock, or actually a Wigwam ultralight, what the skiers wear, kind of like that dress sock, super thin. I'll wear that too. This is my underwear. These are some board shorts. Nothing special about these board shorts other than they're Maddox Party Gusto with the beer holders. Great. This is some 10-year-old Burton thermal that's really thin. I have new stuff too, but again, this is what was in the bag, so I must have been wearing this the end of last year. For whatever reason, I don't have an ACL in either knee, so I will at least wear, I don't wear a double brace. I'll only wear one on my right leg. I'm goofy, so this is of course where a lot of the power and drive comes from, in the front leg, and get the most amount of internal kind of twist and torquing going on in the knee. So I use these Asterisks. They are 500 bucks, but they're still a third the price of super high-end CTI style. But it's the same chassis, same type of deal. They're great if you have any knee problems. Get yourself an Asterisk. I am very minimalistic, as you can tell by this, and when I keep saying all this thin stuff. I'm a dude, I overheat, I generate plenty again of my own heat. I don't need to be warm from the outside in. And this is the same stuff I'll wear if I go on a trip to Alaska, you know, the Rockies, Jackson Hole, British Columbia, places where it can get really cold. I am literally in this exact same base layer, and I might have fleece on, but that's it. I never am wearing thermals on the bottom, ever. These are some Burton AK something or another pants, a couple years old. I am always in Gore-Tex, always in thin stuff. I am always in the Burton AK line, or when the Vulcan boys decided to do Gore-Tex several years ago now, I will run lots of Burton Gore. I love what Vulcan stands for. Wooly, you're the best. Skin Dog, you're the best. Dutch, you're the best. So, sorry I'm not putting on any Vulcan stuff right now, but I definitely love those guys, but love Burton just as much too. Transceiver. Since I'm usually riding out in the backcountry, not at a resort, heck, even when I'm at a resort, a lot of times I will have that on even inbounds. Yeah, they're 300 bucks, but I think your life is worth more than that. So you're doing any type of riding where you're going to be out in the backcountry, please go get some training, take a course. Understand everything. Never ride without it. Always ride with people that, you know, it does no good for you to have all this if your buddies aren't wearing or riding the same stuff too. Boots, you know, are the most important thing about your whole gear setup. And too often, way too often, I'll see people in boots that are too big. The vast majority of people that I'll help in shop actually boot fitting, I've seen people come in, you know, claiming they're a size 12 and walk out with a 10.5. These are Burton Ions from a couple years ago. I'll always get two sets of two boots, and kind of plow through one and then have another backup with the same kind of feel before I move on to the next generation. So these are 2-year-old 08 Ions, wore them for a year and a half, or wore the first ones for about half a year, and then I was in these all of last year, and they were done by the end for sure. So I'm looking forward to my 2010 ones. Make sure that when you go get kind of fitted for boots, like you go to someone who knows what they're doing, and by knowing what they're doing, I mean hopefully they're sizing you in a Brannock, that old-fashioned metal thing you see in shoe stores, so you can get your proper length, your proper width, your arch width. Someone will take the time to look at your shape of your foot, your instep, arch, volume, everything, talk to you about what you're looking for out of the boot, how much performance, stiffness, flex, all those types of things, and then spend 2-3 hours trying on a bunch of boots and deciding what's best for you. Whenever I need to cover up the dome, some coal. And for this thing, I thought you guys might get a kick out of this, because yeah, I do own a shop that sells lots of snowboard gear. But this is some 2-year-old, 3-year-old I think even, Burton AK Continuum. That's duct tape, that's snowmobile grease. This thing is the lightest gore backcountry thing ever. Perfectly good for spring. That's probably why I had this for the last day that I was actually riding. Goggles. There's tons of good goggles out there now. All the spherical stuff is awesome. I've always been a VZ guy. These are Phenoms. I love the VZ boys. So always in some Von Zippers. Same deal when it comes to gloves in terms of being thin. These are some Dakine, what are these things? I didn't forget what these guys were. The Viper, that's right. Dakine Vipers. Dakine Bronco GT. When it's snowing, like a Burton Gore-Tex glove. Or one of their AK versions, or even like these leather Dakine Dukes. Great gloves. I usually will have on a backpack if you see me out riding, because it's usually out in the backcountry. So Dakine Heli Pro. All of the Avi gear obviously is inside here. And last but not least, this is a Capita Charlie Slasher POW flat kick. I really hadn't been on Capita at all, because never really had a board for me. But Johan, God bless you, Johan, for deciding it was time and the demand was there to do it. Other than this, really, Burton Malolo, Burton Custom X. That's kind of the other type of style stuff that I have and what I ride. And really, over the years, it's refined down to POW specific shapes. Again, like a Burton Malolo or this guy right here. And that right there was all of my gear, what I was riding the end of last season, what you'd see me on, my outerwear, and my underwear.